to English Connect's phonetics practice. In this first class, we're going to learn about plosive consonants. Plosive consonants are very particular because to do these, you need to gather a lot of air in the lungs, and then when you're going to expel it, you need to stop that flow of air in order to produce this sound. For example, if we take the sound P, as in pie, we need to gather the air in pie, and you let it go all at once. That is how a plosive consonant works. So, to my right, you have the mouth diagram. In this, you have all the names that you need to know in order to produce these sounds. So, first of all, what we're going to use are these: the upper and lower lips, the velum, which is at the very back of your mouth. I can't even point at it because I have to introduce my finger in my mouth, like and that's impossible. But it's at the very back, as you can see, the soft palate or the velum. And also we need the alveolar ridge, which is here. It's the upper part of the interior of the inner side of the teeth. It's over here. So if you put your finger here, with that part of your mouth, you're going to produce another sound, which I'm going to explain later. And of course, the most important one is the tongue. The tongue is going to be included in most of the sounds in the English language. But first, let's talk about P and B. P and B are very common consonants which are in a lot of words in the English language. Now, to produce these sounds, as you can see here to my right, you need to use both of our lips. So, we're going to do the following. We're going to inhale a lot of air into our lungs. We're going to do that. Then, with your lips closed, very closed, tight together, sealed, what you're going to do is stop the air there in your lips, and then you're going to open your mouth at once, and then you're going to let the air go. You're going to release the air, okay? In that way, you do a plosive sound, which is very, very common. So, to do this, we're going to practice with a very small piece of paper. This is a very good practice for you to know if you're doing this right. So, we're going to inhale the air. I'm going to breathe. Okay, after you inhale, you're going to put the piece of paper in front of you, okay? You're going to inhale, and when you release the air, the paper needs to fly away. If that happens, that means that you're doing it right. So, let's look. You do this. P. You see? If the paper flies away, then it means that you're doing it right. T and D is another pair of sounds which is very common. And for this, you need to do the exact same thing that you did with P and B. But well, the place of articulation is going to be different. For these, what you need is to place your tongue in the alveolar ridge, that is the upper part of the teeth in the inner side. So it's kind of like t, t, and that is what you need to do. Ta, ta, da, da. It's not the same D as in Spanish, like we say Daniel. Daniel, vení pa acá, Daniel. No, it's not Daniel. So, in Daniel, you see that your tongue goes straight to the teeth. Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. In this, what we want is to put our tongue in the upper part to say Daniel, 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 or T, T. So, why don't you try and do this for a couple of times and see if you can find your alveolar ridge. K and G is the last pair of plosive sounds that we have in Spanish. And for this, you need to place the very back part of your tongue together with the velum, which is at the very back as well. So it's like K, like you're going to choke with your tongue. You do K, K, G, G, K. Okay, so again, it's a plosive sound, so you need the puff of air. You need to fill your lungs with air and then release it all at once. G, k. That is what you need to do. The difference is, again, that k is voiceless, the K sound, and g is voiced, the G sound. So, practice them. Now let's practice these sounds with short sentences. Like, for example, Pretty Polly Perkins has a pair of pretty plates. You repeat. Remember to make the P very plosive with lots of air, okay? Now, let's practice the B sound with the other sentence. Bessie, the buxom barmaid, bring me a bottle of best brown beer from the bar at the back of the Bull and Bush. You practice. Remember that the B sound is voiced, so it's not going to be as plosive as P, but still you need to have a puff of air in the sound. Now, let's read the following sentence, but paying attention to the T sound. A tea tray with toast, tart, and a pot of hot strong tea to tempt the twins. Now you try. Now, what about the other sentence? In this one, you need to put your attention to the D sound. So, Deirdre is the doubted daughter of the Duke of Dundas. Can you make it? Try. Now, last but not least, we have the last pair of sentences. These, you need to pay attention to K and G, okay? So, let's try the first one. Ken quite likes Karen. Karen doesn't care for Ken. Okay, let's try this last sentence. A girl guide giggling at a glum guardsman guarding the gates. So, remember to make the G sound plosive with lots of air, but not as much as the K sound. So, go ahead and try it. I'm sure you'll do it fine. So that is the end of the first video related to plosive sounds. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can improve your plosive sounds for when you need to speak English. So good luck and see you on our next video. Bye.